Chapter 1. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Li Hao had a dream. In the dream, he was dazed and hugged a goddess and ate her like crazy. Buzz, buzz. Slap, damn mosquitoes. Damn, it's winter in Xinjiang, why are mosquitoes still so rampant? After a slap, Li Hao woke up instantly. He used too much force and it hurt. Looking at the goddess under him, Li Hao was completely confused. This scene was exactly the same as in the dream. Could it be that all this was done in a daze just now? What's going on? I just went out to wash my feet. How did I end up in this wilderness, and who is this hot and messy goddess? Why did I sleep on her, and why is she motionless? Could I be a murderer, slut, corpse? Li Hao, 22 years old this year, is a famous street writer of a certain eggplant. He has been a professional street writer for 5 years, and has made countless street writers, which have never been surpassed. I don't know if it's a stroke of luck or something else, but a book that was rejected by the editor actually made over 1,000 yuan in its first show. Li Hao was so excited that he decided to use all his savings to reward himself. Li Hao, who had a relationship with a technician lady in the Chinese medicine foot massage city, accidentally fell into the sewer when he went out, and was washed into this strange world. This is a sad accident. It's so hard to have a novel, but it's going to be discontinued. Li Hao slowly took off the handkerchief covering the goddess' face, and a stunning face without makeup appeared in front of Li Hao. Boom! A huge memory surged from the depths of his brain, directly rushing Li Hao dizzy. Yin Jiping, a third-generation disciple of Chuanjin sect, a promising young man, his master Qiu Chuji, a popular candidate for the next generation of Chuanjin sect leader. This is Li Hao's current identity. At the same time, he also learned about this world from the original owner's memory. This is a magical world with countless heroes and masters, Murong in the south, Xiao Feng in the north, Guojing and Huang Rong, the great heroes guarding Xiangyang, and the famous forces of Xixia Yipentang, Lingjiu Palace, Yihua Palace. There is nothing that this world does not have, only what you can't think of. This is a world of martial arts that combines the martial arts worlds written by Jin Yong, Gu Long, Wu Longsheng, and Liang Yusheng. I remember that Yin Jiping was secretly plotted by Zhao Zhijing to take aphrodisiac when he went down the mountain with his senior brother Zhao Zhijing to handle affairs. I didn't want to insult the village woman, so I ran to the wilderness to solve it myself. I met Xiao Long Nu, who was acupunctured by Ouyang Feng, and an indescribable wonderful thing happened between the two sides. When I was a child, how many friends gritted their teeth and wanted to cut the dragon knight Yin Jiping into pieces, but they accidentally became the most hated person. It's nothing that my soul is Yin Jiping, and riding a dragon is also my childhood wish. But why did I pull off the handkerchief covering Xiao Long Nu's head? Now the little dragon girl is staring at him, her eyes are murderous. If eyes can kill, Li Hao would have been cut into pieces and tortured to death. Miss Long, I said this is a misunderstanding, do you believe it? Li Hao said awkwardly. What's your expression, don't you believe it? What's your attitude, show me. Are you unwilling to forgive me? If you are unwilling to forgive me, don't blame me for being cruel. Li Hao said viciously, little dragon girl, if I hadn't had my acupuncture points all over my body pressed by Ouyang Feng's unique skills, I would have lost if you could have met me. Since you don't say anything, don't blame me for being rude. Li Hao looked at the surrounding environment, the wilderness, a man and a woman, dry firewood and a fire, love for a long time. Love for a long time, everyone in the circle of friends is better than me. After tonight, I can only run away. Anyway, there was only one way to go. Li Hao was so timid that he dared to do things against women's will. He was hunted down once, and he was hunted down twice, so what was there to be afraid of? I did it, damn it. Ding, the system detected that the host's thoughts were evil and his behavior violated laws and regulations. It met the system binding conditions and started binding. What the hell is this? Li Hao, who was having fun, heard a strange voice and shuddered with fear. The system binding of the top villain was successful. I hope the host will continue to work hard and become the world's unique villain as soon as possible. Top villain, get out of here, I'm a 3-good man from the 21st century, Li Hao didn't have time to get entangled with this thing that he didn't know whether it was a human or a ghost. The sky was already bright, and it was estimated that Ouyang Feng and Yang Guo would be back soon, so he had to run for his life. After putting on the Taoist robe representing the identity of the third-generation disciple of Chuanjin sect, Li Hao was ready to run. However, after just 2 steps, Li Hao turned back. Xiao Long Nu is still lying on the ground, waiting for Yang Guo to come back, that I have to see her naked, or I will be cheated on. Li Hao gently helped her clean up and put on her clothes. He kissed her hard on the lips, planted a strawberry on her neck, and then walked away under Xiao Long Nu's angry eyes. The world is so big, and there are places for the master to fit in everywhere. Although Li Hao inherited all the martial arts of Yin Jiping, the martial arts of his predecessor Yin Jiping were really not good enough, so he sneaked away from the main road and took the small road to Xianyang. Ding! The top villain system is successfully bound. The system detects that the host will have a bloody disaster in the near future. Here is a novice gift package *1. Please check it yourself. Ding! The system detects that the host has completed the novice task Glorious Dragon Knight. Special reward of villain value *1000. Please keep up the good work and carry forward the villain career. Brother, what on earth are you? Tell me the truth. You should know that I am a Taoist priest. Li Bai's threats are self-evident. I am a Taoist priest, the nemesis of dirty things. If you are a lonely ghost, get up early. This system is under the seat of the main god of the God Realm system. Among all the heavens and worlds, it ranks 9527th among the top villain systems. It is not a crooked thing. There are 9,999 system branches under the seat of the main god of the system. It ranks 9,527th. It is indeed not a crooked thing. System, my golden finger. You just said I have a novice gift package. Li Hao was stunned. He is a famous writer of a certain website, and he knows the system flow very well. Please check it yourself. This system is only responsible for issuing tasks and issuing rewards. The chat service is not within the scope of this system. Open the novice gift package. Damn, this system elf is quite arrogant, but it seems that he is quite awesome. Congratulations to the host for successfully opening the novice gift package, and treading snow without traces, light kung fu, automatically reach the grandmaster level after clicking to learn. Good at understanding people's clothes, a must-have skill for men, non-attribute internal force, 10 years, automatic fusion when extracted. Qin Hehuan powder *999, I love a chai *999, the goddess falls in love with me *999, Super Menghan drug *999. Chapter 2. You are listening at novelfull.audio. As soon as the novice gift pack was opened, Li Hao was stunned. What a stupid system. Except for the treading snow without traces and 10 years of attributeless internal force, which he could understand, he really didn't understand the functions of the rest. Although the things were not very good, they were also the intention of the system. It would be a pity to throw them away. Li Hao could only reluctantly receive them in the system space. Extract the treading snow without traces and the internal force. Li Hao muttered in his heart. A huge amount of energy directly entered Li Hao's body from the void in the form of initiation, and then flowed through the 8 meridians and finally entered the dantian. The weak internal force in the dantian instantly expanded by nearly 1-fold. Yin Jiping was learning the basic internal power of Chuanjin sect, which was an authentic Taoist internal alchemy practice method. It was said that if the practice was successful, one could break through the void and ascend to heaven in broad daylight. Li Hao didn't know whether he could ascend to heaven, but he knew that he could fly now. The master-level snowwalking technique made him flash through the woods like a shadow, and his figure was as elusive as a ghost. Bang! Ouch! The snowwalking technique was too fast, and Li Hao lost control for a moment, and directly hit the trunk of a century-old tree, startling countless birds. Damn, speeding is really not advisable. If you are not careful, the car may be destroyed and people may die. However, Li Hao had no time to delay. The sky was already bright, and if he didn't run away, Yang Guo and Xiao Long Nu would probably catch up. Li Hao didn't bother about the destination, and flew directly to the south. Humph, I don't even know where I'm going. I don't believe that you, Xiao Long Nu, can find me." Li Hao praised himself for being smart. In this way, Li Hao ran for 7 days day and night. On the way, he drank some mountain spring water when he was thirsty and roasted a pheasant when he was hungry. His life was quite comfortable, but what he didn't know was that his running made hundreds of Chuanjian Taoists suffer. As soon as Xiao Long Nu's acupuncture points were unlocked, she immediately blocked the gate of Chuanjian sect and asked Qiu Chuji to hand over Yin Jiping. As the leader of Chuanjian sect, how could Qiu Chuji be threatened by a little girl? Moreover, Yin Jiping was his favorite disciple, so he could hand him over just by asking, but Xiao Long Nu's camp was too scary. Ouyang Feng, one of the 5 greatest poisons of the West, was not something he could deal with. He could only close the gate and prevent the disciples from entering or leaving to avoid unnecessary casualties. Hengyang City. Li Hao looked at the 3 big characters on the city wall and was so confused. Oh my God, I ran so far in 7 days. If I were to participate in a marathon on Blue Star, I would definitely be the world champion. Uncle, do you want to come in and have some fun? In Hengyang City, at the gate of Yingchun Tower, a group of women dressed in fancy clothes stood upstairs, waving handkerchiefs in their hands and constantly greeting passers-by. The madam at the door even ran up to pull Li Hao enthusiastically, but he pushed her away with disgust. He had seen all kinds of scenes on Blue Star. When the art school and the medical school were on vacation, the high heels, black stockings, and long legs at the school gate were all more shocking than this scene. Not to mention these, even the low-cut dresses and hip skirts in the bathing club were hundreds of times better than this. As soon as Li Hao entered Hengyang City, he found a wealthy family, borrowed some silver and gold leaves, and then bought a few sets of young man's clothes, matched with a long sword made of tempered steel, and walked on the road. He was a handsome and elegant young man. Yin Jiping himself was only in his 20s, and with the Taoist exercises that had the effect of keeping his face young, he looked only 17 or 18 years old, and was very tender. "Sir, please come in." At the door of Huiyan Tower, a waiter welcomed Li Hao in. They had the ability to judge people, and naturally saw who was capable of spending money in the restaurant. "Give me 1 portion of your signature dishes and a pot of good wine." Li Hao threw a silver ingot on the table. "Okay, wait a moment, the food and wine will be here soon." Li Hao's generosity made the waiter very happy. A table of food and wine costs at most half a silver ingot, and the rest, hee. It's great. Today's day and night escape made Li Hao physically and mentally exhausted. Now that he has recovered, he should relax. It's just that the wine is a bit bad, as bland as water. "Waiter, find me a table, I want to eat." Just as Li Hao complained about the bad wine, a big man with a short knife on his waist pushed a beautiful little nun in. "Sir, I'm so sorry, the store is full, there is no. Isn't there an empty seat here?" "Brother, you shouldn't mind me sitting here." The big man slapped the short knife on the table, and the meaning was self-evident. "You are welcome." Li Hao frowned. He keeps a low profile and doesn't want to cause trouble, but he's not afraid of trouble either. With 20 years of internal strength, he can be considered a top-notch expert in the martial arts world, plus the master-level snow-walking technique. If I want to leave, no one can stop me. "Frankly, little brother, you are a good person. I, Tian Buguang, have made friends with you." The big man laughed, and the wild spirit immediately came to his face. "Tian Buguang, the lone traveler in thousands of miles?" Li Hao asked in confusion. "This is me, little brother, you have heard of me." Tian Buguang did not seem surprised. Who in the world does not know the notoriety of Tian Buguang, the lone traveler in thousands of miles? "I have never heard of it, I have only seen it." "Then this beauty must be Master Yilin?" Li Hao asked immediately. "I am Yilin, a poor nun, meet this donor." Yilin's personality is as gentle and pleasant as in the book, but she doesn't feel good about Li Hao now. She calls others beautiful women when she opens her mouth. Although he is telling the truth, it seems a bit too frivolous. Who doesn't know the big rapist Tian Buguang in The Swordsman? He caught a girl, but was messed up by the protagonist. He didn't get started for many days, and was finally castrated by the girl's father. When watching this drama, my friends all scolded Tian Buguang for being stupid to the extreme. The protagonist should appear at this time. Li Hao muttered. At this moment, a handsome young man with wounds all over his body, wearing a ragged grey shirt, a wine gourd hanging from his waist, and a fine steel sword as a cane, limped in. "Brother Linghu, is there a conflict between you and me? Are you really entangled with me for a little nun?" Seeing the handsome young man who walked straight to sit next to him, Tian Buguang said unhappily. "Brother Tian, how can you say that? This little nun and I are not relatives. Why would I fight with you for her? Besides, I, Linghu Chong, am famous for my love of wine and gambling. As the old saying goes, if you meet a nun, you will lose every time you gamble. I can't even hide from this little nun, how can I come to save her? I just hit it off with Brother Tian, and I wanted to have a fight with you," Linghu Chong said with a grin. It seems that his injuries are not so easy to heal. Chapter 3. You are listening at novelfull.audio. I say, you too, if you want to fight, please go out. The restaurant is a small business. Who will they ask to pay for the damage? Also, I ordered the dishes on the table. I just ate a few bites, so please go ahead. Li Hao stretched out his hand and made a gesture of invitation. Linghu Chong and Tian Buguang looked at each other and felt that what Li Hao said was reasonable, so they went out to the street and started fighting. In fact, he didn't want to interfere with the two people's affairs. He also wanted to see whether the fight between Tian Buguang's quick knife and Linghu Chong's Huashan swordsmanship was as cool as in the TV series. However, the system hidden in his body refused to do it. Just now, he received a notification from the system to let him participate in the snatching of the little Nunny Lin. Damn, when Li Hao opened the comprehensive martial arts world Kunfangpu, he was immediately stunned by the dense list on it. The first one has no name, only a code name, Empress. Li Hao thought for a long time but still couldn't figure out who the Empress was. He continued to look down. The third place was Yaoyue of Yihua Palace, the 10th was Shifei Xuan, the 11th was the witch Wan Wan, the 19th was Huang Rong, and the 35th was Lianqing of Yihua Palace. Brother, with so many people, how can I be sure that the other party is someone on the list of beauties, and her specific ranking? In addition, if I robbed so many people, I would be hunted down by people from the whole world to the ends of the earth. Li Hao smiled bitterly. He now knew why there were so many 999s in his novice gift package. It felt like they were waiting for him here. Turn on the system radar. If you appear within a 500-meter radius of the host and are on the list, there will be a prompt. Also, the host has a big villain system, and it is born to be in a situation of never-ending struggle with the righteous. Turn on the radar. Li Hao didn't want to talk nonsense with the system anymore. It sounded bad, however. Zhongwu was originally a world where the strong prey on the weak. If you are not ruthless, you can't stand firm. Even if the system doesn't remind him, Li Hao will not be a saint. Yilin, a disciple of Hengshan's sect. Fuck, this function of the system is a bit against the sky. Big brother, why are you looking at me like this? Yilin saw Li Hao staring at her with lustful eyes. His eyes kept scanning her high mountains and flowing water, obviously with bad intentions. If her acupuncture points had not been controlled, she would have run away from Li Hao long ago. TSK, what a beautiful lady, what a pity. Li Hao took a sip of wine and sighed continuously. Anyone with a discerning eye could see the problem. Big brother, what do you mean by pity? Yilin's face flushed. She was still very shy when someone praised her as a beautiful lady in person. Although everyone is a child of the rivers and lakes, they are not particular about trivial matters. But in this ancient society, the defense between men and women is still a controversial issue. That Linghu Chong outside is your lover, right? To save you, he openly fought to the death with the famous flower-stealing thief in the Jianghu world. Tian Buguang's sword is swift and invisible, and Linghu Chong's Huashan swordsmanship, with his mediocre skills, will be torn into pieces sooner or later. Li Hao ate a piece of beef, drank a sip of wine, watched a wonderful martial arts movie, and flirted with a pretty little nun. This life is much more exciting than the days in his previous life when he worked hard every day and kept falling on the street. Brother, don't talk nonsense. Senior brother Ling Hu is not my lover. We are of the same blood in the Five Mountains sword sect. He came to save me specially because I was in trouble. Lin's pretty face flushed, and she hurriedly explained. He is not a lover, then we can happily watch him being hacked to death. Li Hao said with a smile. Brother, please save senior brother Ling Hu, I know you can definitely save him. Lin saw Li Hao's expression of watching a good show, and she was smart and clever. She immediately guessed that Li Hao should be a martial arts master. Save him? Why should I save him if I have no relationship with him? Besides, even if his master, the gentleman sword Yu Buchuan, comes, he can't stop Tian Buguang from killing people with a knife. Li Hao found it more and more interesting. Although the wine in the restaurant is as bland as water, it is a bit intoxicating if you drink too much. Hero, please save senior brother Ling Hu. I will agree to any request you make. Lin heard what Li Hao said and immediately became confused. This was her first time going down the mountain since she was a child. As soon as she came down, she met the flower-stealing thief Tian Buguang. If she hadn't met the stubborn Ling Hu Chong, she would have been deprived of her virginity by Tian Buguang 7 or 8 times. Lin, who had never seen the world, had already been tempted and secretly fell in love with Ling Hu Chong. Now suddenly hearing that Ling Hu Chong could not survive, she immediately cried and begged Li Hao. Do you really agree to any request? Li Hao asked curiously. Why are women in ancient times so stupid? It seems that the TV series are still too conservative. As long as I have it, I will definitely agree to it. Lin nodded her head. Well, as long as you agree to return to secular life and become my concubine, I can save Ling Hu Chong. Li Hao looking at Lin who was crying, he complained in his heart, Ling Hu Chong is indeed the son of destiny. This guy will definitely be his enemy in the future. Should he kill him before he grows up? Li Hao has already entered the role of villain. He will kill those protagonists and heroes one by one if he has the chance, so as to avoid more trouble. Big hero, I am a nun and cannot marry. Besides, do you want to marry a concubine? Does your wife agree? Lin was dumbfounded. She didn't expect that the other party's condition for saving people was also herself. Why is she so miserable? She has not left the wolf's den and is being targeted by the tiger again. Is the aesthetic view of men distorted now? Otherwise, why would they want to hit on a little nun like her? I don't even have a wife. Why do I need her consent to marry a concubine? And since you don't agree, I won't force it. Let's see when Ling Hu Chong will die. Damn, Ling Hu Chong is too slow and was stabbed 3 more times. Li Hao covered his eyes and couldn't watch it anymore. Woo woo, senior brother Ling Hu, please leave quickly, don't worry about me. Lin saw Ling Hu Chong bleeding again, and immediately cried sadly. As a result, Lin's shouting made Ling Hu Chong pause, and he was stabbed again. Hero, please save senior brother Ling Hu, I agree to your request. Lin turned her head and looked at Li Hao, and said with a firm expression. Stamp it, and you are mine. Li Hao stretched his face in front of Lin and said frivolously. Lin pecked Li Hao's face quickly, she was afraid that if she was slow, Ling Hu Chong would die. Chapter 4. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Congratulations to the host for obtaining non-attribute internal force *10, Xiao Huan Dan *999, villain value *1000. Congratulations to the host for obtaining the ancient divine book, Huang Di Neijing, Martial Arts, 13 Deadly Swords. System brother, Lin and I haven't had our wedding night yet, so is the collection task considered completed? Host, do you think ancient women are the same as modern women? Although they are children of the rivers and lakes, they are absolutely loyal in their feelings. The system explained, of course, if the task target is someone like Li Shishir, it's another matter. Extract internal force, Li Hao silently said, and a huge amount of energy poured into the Baihui point on Li Hao's head from the void, turned around in the body, and merged into the Dantian internal force vortex. Crack, only a cracking sound was heard in the body, and Li Hao's cultivation reached the acquired realm. The acquired realm is also a small master in the rivers and lakes. The cultivation level is divided into 3, 2, first-class master, acquired, innate, early, middle and late stage, then master, great master, and the next level is said to be the legendary golden elixir realm, which is what Taoists call breaking the void. Hero, please save brother Ling Hu quickly. Just when Li Hao was stunned, poor Ling Hu Chong was stabbed again. Remember, my name is Li Hao, a passionate swordsman, also known as Riqian Jusher. Remember to call me husband in the future. Of course, you can call me sir or husband. Remember? Li Hao said with a straight face. System, extract the 13 deadly swords. Taking advantage of this time, Li Hao merged the 13 deadly swords again, so that his chances of winning against Tian Buguang were much greater. System, why is treading snow without trace the maximum level, but the 13 deadly swords have not even entered the entry level? When the 13 deadly swords merged into his brain, Li Hao was instantly confused. The gap was too big. Treading snow without trace is a novice gift package, so it is the maximum level. As for the martial arts outside the novice gift package, the host needs to comprehend it himself, or use the villain value to enter the enlightenment state. As for the villain value, you can get it when you kill the son of the martial arts destiny or the upright people. Use the villain value to comprehend the 13 deadly swords. Use the villain value successfully, comprehending the 13 deadly swords. Husband, please save brother Ling Hu quickly. After struggling for a while, Lin still shouted out the two words that made her feel ashamed, because if she didn't shout, Ling Hu Chong would really be finished. Hold tight. Li Hao tapped Yilin a few times, and Yilin felt her acupuncture points unlocked, and her third-rate warrior strength was restored. Ah! Yilin screamed, her strength had just recovered, and before she could react, her body was picked up by Li Hao, and then quickly floated out. Yes, it was floating, like a leaf. Seeing Li Hao's elegant movements, like a gentleman, Yilin was completely fascinated. Li Hao's lightness skills have reached the level of a master, and there is probably no one faster than him in the whole world. Clang! Just when Tian Buguang felt that he was tired of playing and was ready to kill Ling Hu Chong with a knife, Li Hao directly drew his sword to block Tian Buguang's quick knife. Have you seen enough? If you have, come down, my husband wants to fight. Li Hao looked down at Lin. A minute later, Lin shyly jumped out of Li Hao's arms, then ran to Ling Hu Chong's side and stuffed a pill with a herbal fragrance into his mouth, Xiao Huan Dan, a holy medicine for healing. Although the effect is not as good as the Great Huan Dan, which can bring the dead back to life. But it is also countless times stronger than the high-level wound medicine. As long as you still have a breath, take it and you will be full of energy in an instant. Yilin's face is still burning now. This is a world that values appearance. Li Hao himself is not bad-looking, and his martial arts are strong. Just now, with a passionate kiss, Lin directly Ling Hu Chong was completely forgotten. If Li Hao hadn't given her Xiao Huan Dan, she would have forgotten that there was a dying Ling Hu Chong beside her. Ling Hu Chong saw Lin looking at Li Hao like a young wife, and then looked at his body that had recovered as before. He felt like he had lost 5 million. Li Hao took away Lin's heart, causing Ling Hu Chong's protagonist luck to flow to Li Hao. As one increased, the other decreased, and Lin liked Li Hao more and more. This is luck, something that cannot be seen or touched. I didn't expect that I, Tian Buguang, have been walking around the world for decades, and sometimes I am short-sighted. May I ask your name, brother, and where you are from? Tian Buguang looked at Li Hao seriously. When traveling in the martial arts world, safety comes first, and he never touches disciples of big forces. From Li Hao's sword just now, he knew that the opponent's internal strength was not lower than his own, so the opponent was at least acquired. In addition, Li Hao's graceful body movements and strange speed just now showed that the opponent was extraordinary. If he killed him, it would probably be a disaster. If you beat up your brothers and get old, your good days will be over. I am Li Hao, also known as Riqian Jusher, and known as the amorous swordsman in the world. Li Hao cupped his hands. You are 1,000 miles alone, Tian Buguang, and you will be scared to death if I say my name, a whole sentence. System, you think you are reading novels and writing reviews, you are so many words. Amorous swordsman Li Hao, I have heard of you for a long time. I don't know why you block my knife and steal my woman. Tian Buguang was furious when he saw Yi Lin behind Li Hao. I have been working diligently and picking flowers for more than 10 years, and I never dared to neglect it. This is the first time I have met such a superb beauty. But things don't go as I wish. First, Ling Hu Chong was stubborn and interfered, and now he was directly intercepted. Don't you think it's infuriating? Robbed your woman. I haven't settled accounts with you yet. My wife has been held hostage by you for several days. Do you really think I don't exist? Yilin, come here. His hand touched you. Li Hao pulled Yilin into his arms and pointed the iron sword at Tian Buguang. Just now, the system prompted that the 13 swords of death had reached the state of great success, and the comprehensive force had the strength to fight against the innate. I already have the capital to stand on this, and I don't need to hide anymore. Both hands touched, but through clothes. Yilin looked at Li Hao with a pale face, and her two small hands kept stirring the corners of her clothes. Oh no, my husband won't dislike me. Yilin's heart kept beating. It can't be forgiven through clothes. Both hands touched, so leave both hands. Li Hao said with a ferocious look. The 13 swords of death were launched, and Li Hao vented all the depression he had felt in the past few days. Target, Tian Buguang. Chapter 5. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Li Hao integrated all the grievances of the past few days together. How could Tian Buguang, who was good at Qinggong, resist the extremely angry sword? With 2 swords, Tian Buguang's 2 arms left his body. Seeing Tian Buguang in such a miserable state, Yi Lin couldn't help but cover her mouth. She was not qualified to sympathize with Tian Buguang. If it weren't for her husband's action, senior brother Ling Hu would have died, and she would definitely be ravaged and live a life worse than death. I will take your life with the next sword. Li Hao was extremely excited now. He didn't expect Yan Shisan's 13 deadly swords to be so powerful, and Tian Buguang, who was at the same stage of internal strength as him, was actually vulnerable. Brother, please spare his life. Just when Li Hao was about to try to kill someone for the first time in Zhongwu, a loud voice stopped him. Who are you, Tian Buguang's accomplice? Li Hao asked curiously. The man was about 2 meters tall, which was considered a giant in this world. No, I have no relationship with him. I am Tai Shou of the 6 gates in Beijing. This man ruined the innocence of 9 women in Beijing 3 years ago. I have been chasing him. But he is so good at light work that I have never caught him. So today I hope you will give me a favor and let me take him back to Beijing and hand him over to the government for punishment. Tai Shou bowed his hands, very politely. It's not good to be impolite. 2 swords crippled the famous Tian Buguang. If I go up, I will probably be a delivery man. So it's Tai Shou of the 4 famous constables. I wonder if Zhuge Shenhou is in good health. Li Hao said with a smile. Damn, what do you mean by the 4 famous constables invading the laughing proud wanderer? My brain is not enough, and my head is buzzing. My master is in good health. What's your name, brother? Do you know my master? Tai Shou was confused. Zhuge Shenhou has retired for decades, and this young man actually knows that there is a person like Zhuge Shenhou in the world. It's not simple. I am Li Hao, the affectionate sword. I just heard my master mention the divine marquis, so I'm asking. As for this guy, he bullied my wife, so I was a little heavy-handed. Li Hao patted Yi Lin's beautiful figure and introduced her. The virtuous couple is really unique. Tai Shou thought for a long time and finally uttered the word unique. Damn, you young people know how to have fun. The nun hugged and kissed with others before she returned to secular life. I just don't know if she played mahjong at night. Huh, don't you think this is quite interesting? You can take Tian Buguang away. Without his arms, he can't do evil even if he wants to. Li Hao said indifferently. Thank you very much for your understanding, young Master Li. This is my token. If you have any problems in the future, you can directly use the token to ask the government for help. Tai Shou handed over his waist badge. This young man knew Zhuge Divine Marquis, and from the tone of his voice, he learned about it from his master. Judging from his attitude towards himself, his master and teacher may be old friends. I must make good friends with such a young talent. I must. Li Hao took the badge without hesitation. This thing represents the official identity and may be useful in the future. Thank you for saving my life, senior. Huashan Linghu Chong would like to thank you. After Tai Shou took Tian Buguang away, Linghu Chong beside him hurried over to thank him. Brother Linghu, I have to thank you again. If you hadn't stopped Tian Buguang, I'm afraid I would have been killed by Tian Buguang before my husband could make a move. Yilin saw that Li Hao didn't like Linghu Chong, so she had to thank him out loud. The 5 mountain sword sects are of the same blood. When my junior sister is in trouble, Linghu Chong will take care of it. Are you done yet, madam? Where are we going? Li Hao hugged Yilin and was reluctant to let go. The system is really magical. It knows the specific measurements of the robe Yilin wears. Husband, we came to Hengyang to attend the retirement of Master Lu Jingfeng of Hengshan sect. So, I will go to Master Lu Jingfeng's house to meet Master and the others. Then I will tell Master and the others about our affairs. At this point, Yilin was a little embarrassed. A nun returned to secular life and married. This is probably the biggest farce in the history of Hengshan sect. Don't worry, with your husband here, I guarantee that the betrothal gift will satisfy the old nun. Li Hao said unscrupulously. Seeing Li Hao and Yilin flirting in front of him, Linghu Chong was full of resentment. Damn, he was stabbed dozens of times and bled several kilograms, but he didn't get a hair, and Li Hao took all the benefits. The boundless resentment made Linghu Chong's heart dark. What Linghu Chong didn't know was that Feng Qingyang taught him the Dugan 9 swords because he saw Tian Buguang beat him so badly. Now that Tian Buguang is gone, no one knows where his Dugan 9 swords will go. At the foot of Hengshan Mountain, in the manor of Lu Jingfeng, the head of the Hengshan school, there were drums and gongs, and lights and decorations. People come and go, and it is very lively. Li Hao has been here with Yilin for 2 days. Yilin has taken off her monk robe and changed into ordinary women's clothes. In a few months, when her hair grows out, she will be a top-notch beauty. I remember that when I came back with Yilin the day before yesterday, Yilin's master, Master Ding Yi, saw Li Hao hugging Yilin and was very picky. She couldn't stand it. Originally, Li Hao didn't want to spoil him, but then he thought that the other party had raised Yilin for more than 10 years, and he couldn't make Yilin sad. So he presented the betrothal gift, 50 Xiaohuan Dan. When they saw the full 50 Xiaohuan Dan, Ding Xian, Ding Jing, and Ding Yi, the 3 teachers of Hengshan school, worshipped collectively. The Xiaohuan Dan represents a life. As long as you have a breath, you can recover immediately. Therefore, under Li Hao's sincerity, the 3 masters agreed to let Yilin return to secular life, and Yilin will be a lay disciple of Hengshan school in the future. Moreover, the head of Hengshan sect also tactfully indicated that as long as Li Hao was sincere, he could choose any young female disciple of Hengshan sect. After thinking about it, Li Hao gave up the idea of choosing anyone. After all, except Yilin, there was no one in Hengshan sect who was included in the list of beauties. As guards, their martial arts were too poor, so Li Hao declined the kindness of Master Ding Xian. That night, Li Hao served tea to Master Ding Yi. Chapter 6. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Husband, look at Uncle Lu's house, it's so grand. Yilin sighed. Hengshan sect is a nunnery, so naturally everything inside is plain, including the colors. It's not like Hengshan sect, where everything is bright and colorful. Husband. Yilin looked back and found that Li Hao was staring at a stunning young woman. She couldn't help but feel unhappy, so she stretched out her hand and pinched the soft flesh on Li Hao's waist, and made a 360-degree turn. Ouch! Li Hao woke up and laughed when he saw Yilin's angry look. What's wrong? my little Yilin is jealous. Husband, I have no objection if you like other girls, but you. Yilin hesitated to speak, looked at the people around her, and finally didn't say it. Sometimes the wall has ears, and the disaster comes from the mouth, which is not fun to say. Yilin I saw that you were too tired at night, so I wanted to find some sisters to help you share the burden. You have lost weight in the past 2 days. Li Hao said seriously. Yilin was speechless. What do you think of that just now? Li Hao lowered his head and said in Yilin's ear. She is a married woman. Yilin's body softened and she fell directly into Li Hao's arms. As long as you agree, I will naturally have my own way. Li Hao smiled strangely. That smile made the people around him scalp numb. I have no objection. More sisters mean more ways. Yilin expressed her position directly. Her identity is a concubine, and she has no right to oppose this matter. Even if Li Hao dotes on her, she feels that she cannot cross the line. Since you have agreed, I will go to do my thing. Go to bed early at night. I may be back late. Li Hao patted her perky and said with a smile. I know, come back early. Lin said with a pout. Although she looked unhappy, she was very happy in her heart. She could finally have a good sleep. When Li Hao was around, she almost didn't close her eyes all night. The process of improving her strength was full of tears. So they live in the backyard of Hengshan sect. No wonder I haven't seen them for so many days. Ning Zhongzi, I didn't expect you to be ranked in the Chuanfang book. Although the ranking is a bit low, it's still meat even if it's small. I can't miss the system reward. Li Hao muttered in his heart, just when I was strolling with Lin, the system suddenly prompted me that a member of the Chuanfang book appeared around me. Ning Zhongzi, ranking, 965. Ning Zhongzi, a famous Huashan female hero in the world. The wife of Huashan's head, Junzijian Yubuchuan, is superb in the Jade Girl's Sword. From the information given by the system, it can be seen that Ning Zhongzi was not an ordinary person when she was young. Being able to squeeze into the list of beauties as a middle-aged woman is enough to prove that she was extraordinary when she was young. 91 data. In this land of the East, many people can only achieve it after becoming mothers. It's a pity that Yu Lingshan didn't come with him, otherwise with Ning Zhongzi's genes, Yu Lingshan would definitely be on the list. In fact, Li Bai can find Yu Lingshan's ranking by just looking it up, but it's too tiring to turn the pages one by one. When he meets her in the future, he will naturally know. Brother Kun, are you going out so late? In the backyard of Hengshan, all the disciples of Huashan were arranged here. Just now, the head of Songshan sect, Xiao Long Nu, sent someone to invite Yu Buchuan to Hengyang City for a meeting. As for what they discussed specifically, the person who sent the letter didn't know. Leaders will must have something urgent to invite me over at this time, so I can't let him wait for a long time. You and the disciples stay here and don't go out, so as to avoid any accidents. Yu Buchuan ordered. He is not a fool. Xiao Long Nu invited him to discuss matters at this time, and ran to Hengyang City, which was dozens of miles away. Obviously, the matter was not small. Tomorrow is the day when Lu Jingfeng will retire from the underworld. It seems that this is the prelude to the coming storm. Seeing Yu Buchuan go to the appointment in the middle of the night, Li Hao immediately became excited. You ask him why he knows, because the messenger is in his hands now, but he has died now. Yu Buchuan went to Hengyang City in the middle of the night, so he probably won't be back tonight, so he has a whole night. What should I use? Li Hao took out various magical medicines given by the system, and he was a little entangled in his heart. There are too many good things, which makes him a little indecisive. Damn, I am going to be the #1 figure in the world anyway. It seems too dirty to use such a low-level method to deal with a middle-aged woman. Finally, Li Hao picked up the super knockout drug and floated towards the room of the Huashan sect disciples. Li Hao's ability to walk without leaving any trace in the snow is unparalleled in the world. After he gave all the Huashan disciples, including Ling Huchong, a dose of super knockout drug, after that, it took only a quarter of an hour. After everything was ready, Li Hao slowly moved towards Ning Zhongzi's room. Li Hao didn't know Ning Zhong's specific martial arts cultivation, but he thought it was similar to that of Master Deng Yi and the others, and should be within his control. Li Hao's current real combat power, below the innate level, can be easily suppressed, the middle innate level needs some effort, and the peak innate level can be killed with all his strength. If the Grandmaster comes, no one can catch up with him if he wants to escape. Hey, why is there a sound of water inside? Damn, Ning Zhongze didn't sleep in the middle of the night and actually came to take a bath. But she was the only one awake in the whole backyard, so I don't think anything will happen. The door was locked from the inside, but Li Hao, who had watched too many costume dramas, still had experience in opening this kind of door bolt. Just take a knife and pry it slowly. Soon, the door bolt was quickly removed, and only a little sound was made in the process. If it was normal, Ning Zhongze would definitely hear it clearly with his cultivation. Li Hao slowly pushed the door open and floated in. Ning Zhongze was taking a bath behind the screen, and her changed clothes were folded and placed on the chair next to the screen. Chapter 7. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Ning Zhongze has been a bit annoyed recently. Brother Kun seems to have something going on recently and has been indifferent to her. She thinks of herself as a female warrior of Huashan Mountain, with a beautiful appearance. Although her body has changed a little after giving birth to Ling Shan, it is harmless through later training. I don't know how many people drool at her back, but Brother Kun just doesn't love her. After so many years of marriage, Brother Kun has always been affectionate and polite to her. The couple has not even kissed each other for so many years. Brother Kun's reputation as a gentleman's sword has made her lose a lot. After Ling Shan was born, Brother Kun never flirted with her again. Even when feeding Ling Shan when she was a child, Brother Kun avoided her. Alas, it's all tears to talk about it. Feeling lonely and alone at night, Ning Zhongze couldn't sleep alone. Thinking about it, she unconsciously, Li Hao was dumbfounded. He ran to steal the fragrance and jade in the middle of the night, but ended up encountering such a situation. If Ning Zhongze continued, he would probably have nothing to do. Anxiously, Li Hao didn't care about his elegant image and just walked over. Although he was in an extraordinary period, he still had the necessary vigilance. If he hadn't been busy with other things just now, Li Hao would never have been able to get close to him with his strength, but as soon as she said that, she felt her body numb and her acupoints were controlled. The other party did not control her actions, but temporarily imprisoned her cultivation. So what exactly did he want to do? Feeling that the cultivation in her body could not function, Ning Zhongze was shocked. Who are you? Leave here now and I can pretend that nothing happened. Otherwise, everyone around here is my Huashan disciple. Madam, I'm sorry for being so presumptuous to visit you late at night. Ning Zhongze's voice just fell, and Li Hao's teasing voice came from behind. After that, in order to prevent the night from getting too long, Li Hao didn't care whether the other party was willing or not, and went straight to the point. Since you know it's presumptuous, why did you break in? Ning Zhongze gritted his teeth and said in a low voice, I never thought that after years of wandering around the world and hunting geese, I was pecked in the eye by a goose today. Damn the rapist. She just hoped that this matter would end quickly and the mysterious man behind it would leave immediately. Madam, you are so beautiful that I can't help myself. Please forgive me. Although Li Hao apologized, he did everything he shouldn't have done. Stop it, don't force me to die together. Ning Zhongze was furious. She had been offended once, but the other party didn't seem to have any intention of leaving. Madam, if you want your disciples to see you like this, just shout loudly. I don't care. Li Hao was quite single. Anyway, everyone in the backyard had been given a super knockout drug. He didn't worry about anyone coming to disturb him. Also, let me remind you that I didn't close the door when I came in. Ning Zhongze was shocked. The door was not closed, which meant that someone could come in at any time. If one person comes in and sees what happens inside, then his reputation. If you behave yourself, I can leave earlier. Otherwise, I can't guarantee your safety. Threat, naked threat, but Ning Zhongze has no choice but to endure it. When can you leave? There was silence outside the window. I can't say for sure. Li Hao was a little embarrassed. It's you. Ning Zhongze turned around quietly and happened to meet Li Hao's eyes. You know me. Li Hao frowned. Could it be that Ling Hu Chon went to complain to their parents? If so, he would kill him when he left. I saw you at Brother Lu's house during the day. You were holding a very beautiful girl. Ning Zhongze said hurriedly. There was no way. She was now under acupuncture and didn't dare to offend Li Hao at all. That's my concubine. You will be sisters in the future. Li Hao said meaningfully. Impossible. If you leave now, I can still pretend that nothing happened. Ning Zhongze began to speak harshly. Now, it is not an exaggeration to say that she is a strong talker, because if Li Hao hadn't supported her, she would have fallen to the ground. If I leave now, what will you do? Li Hao asked curiously. Ning Zhongze was speechless. What should she do after Li Hao left? Otherwise, just make do with it, don't ask too much. The content here is a VIP chapter. Please recharge, please recharge. The rooster crowed and the sky was bright, and Li Hao got up and wanted to leave. Who are you? Ning Zhongze asked unwillingly. In fact, her acupoints had been untied long ago. She could have slapped Li Hao to death, but in the end she had to endure it. He did not make a move. My name is Li Hao, Richen Jusher, nicknamed the Amorous Swordsman. Li Hao replied, with decades of internal strength. Li Hao felt that he was a little floating when he walked. Of course, this is not the effect of walking on snow without leaving a trace. Sure enough, I am not afraid of bad women playing ambiguity, but I am afraid of young women in their 30s. She knows everything you don't know, and she knows everything you can't do. She is mature, steady and charming, which makes people fascinated and intoxicated. The originally arrogant Li Hao tasted what dimensionality reduction strikes. Alas, it's all my fault that I was too young, thinking that I could break all the laws with one force, but the result, it seems that after I go back, I have to review the knowledge in a divine book rewarded by the system and strive to get a higher degree. Otherwise, I will regret not having enough knowledge when I need it, and the poor young man will be gray-haired. Amorous Swordsman, he really deserves the title. Ning Zhongze laughed. Oh my God, don't be so arrogant. One day, I will make you realize your mistakes and take responsibility for your mistakes. Li Hao pointed at Ning Zhongze's nose and cursed. Then you can tell me where I went wrong now. Ning Zhongze half sat up and let the quilt fall to the ground. Fuck you. Li Hao turned his head to the side and tried not to look at this side. This woman is full of routines. Remember to close the door when you go out. Ning Zhongze lay with his eyes closed. In the past, Ning Zhongze had to get up early every morning to dance the 19 swords of the Jade Girl, rain or shine, but this morning, there was no need to think about it, it was boring. Got it. Remember to call Lin's sister when you see her next time. Li Hao opened the door and left. If you want me to call you sister, it depends on my mood. Ning Zhongze muttered. Chapter 8. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Where are my clothes? Ning Zhongze, who ignored the spring scene, got up and searched the room quickly. Everything in the coat was there, except for the small cloth bag embroidered with mandarin ducks playing in the water. Little bastard, you know how to play. You have to take something as a trophy when you leave. Ning Zhongze cursed inwardly, and quickly got up to find a new one in his bag, and then put it on. When Ning Zhongze was dressed and cleaned up the room, Yu Buchuan pushed the door in. Brother Kun, you're back. Ning Zhongze was startled, and his heart was beating non-stop. Fortunately, the Huashan female hero had deep internal strength, and she got up to clean up the scene. Otherwise, with Yu Buchuan's meticulous thinking, he would have guessed what happened by just glancing at the messy room. That little bastard only destroyed things and didn't care about cleaning up. The next time I see him, will there be a next time? Well, I'm back. Yu Buchuan looked a little lonely, obviously a little unhappy. What happened? After being married for many years, Ning Zhongze naturally knew that Yu Buchuan had something on his mind. The name of the gentleman's sword made it impossible for her to comfort her husband like an ordinary wife. This time, senior brother Lu's retirement will probably not be so smooth. Zhuoleng Chan brought the 5 mountains flag and the 13 guardians of Songshan all came. Yu Buchuan said faintly, the 13 guardians of Songshan. They are all innate masters. When will my Huashan sect catch up? The only innate masters left in the entire Huashan sect are me and my junior sister Ning Zhongzi, damn sword sect, destroying the foundation of my Huashan. The 13 guardians of Songshan are here. Ning Zhongzi was silent. Something will definitely happen this time. I hope that the little guy won't get into trouble. Damn it, why is my mind full of that bastard? Is it because of love over time? System, extract internal force and integrate skills. As Li Hao moved quickly down the mountain, he did not forget to extract the reward issued by the system. A stream of energy entered the Baihui acupoint from the void, and then entered the Dantian. Li Hao was already very familiar with this process, and it did not make him feel anything strange. As for the Xiao Wuxian Gong, after extraction, it took the initiative to merge with Li Hao's original Chuanxin Zhenfa, use the villain value to comprehend the Xiao Wuxian Gong. With the use of the villain value, the Chuanxin Zhenfa and the Xiao Wuxian Gong merged quickly. When the villain value was consumed, Li Hao's comprehension of the Xiao Wuxian Gong in his mind had reached the great success level. The Chuanxin Zhenfa belongs to the basic Taoist mental method, while the Xiao Wuxian Gong is the top Taoist method. After the fusion, the internal force in Li Hao's body immediately turned into attributeless internal force. This attributeless internal force is different from the attributeless internal force rewarded by the system. Although the name is the same, the meaning is different. The attributeless internal force rewarded by the system is truly attributeless and can be integrated with any internal force mental method. The attributeless internal force cultivated by Xiao Wuxian Gong is invisible and formless. You can say it has no attributes, or you can say it has all attributes, because Xiao Wuxian Gong can simulate any internal force mental method and urge various supporting martial arts without any conflict, if Li Hao has deep internal force and masters a large number of martial arts. When facing the enemy, he has a flame knife in his left hand, an ice palm in his right hand, a heavenly leg on his left foot, a wind god leg on his right foot, an iron head skill on his head, a golden bell cover on his body, and all kinds of attributes of gold, wood, water, fire, earth and wind are integrated into one. Who can resist this situation? However, with Li Hao's current 40 years of internal force, if he operates like this, he will be sucked dry in minutes. System brother, can't you let me win by lying down, sign in, etc., and let me be the best in the world in minutes? Then embrace the white, rich and beautiful, punch the tall, rich and handsome, and become the world's top. Li Bai complained in his heart, host, please don't daydream, just complete the system task seriously. Lying down and signing in are not within the service scope of this system. Damn, the lying down system, the sign-in system, those are the systems ranked within the top 100 under the Lord God's throne. How can I 95-27 compare with them? However, it is impossible to tell Li Hao about this kind of thing. As long as the system maintains its usual high-cold approach, the host will not know these integrated medical skills. When he arrived at the living area, Li Hao did not use Qinggong again. After all, there are many people and eyes, so as to avoid unnecessary trouble. Since he was idle, Li Hao thought about studying the master-level medical skills rewarded by the system. As a large amount of information poured into his brain, Li Hao's understanding of doctors gradually deepened. Huiyang 9 needles, Guimen 13 needles, small Zhoutian needle method, large Zhoutian formation method. Countless magical formations were integrated by Li Hao. It turns out that silver needles can be used in this way. No wonder Dongfang Bubi likes to use silver needles. It turns out that silver needles are the things that must be kept at home, traveling, and killing and robbing. After reading the whole information, Li Hao finally understood the profoundness of Chinese medicine. The things passed down by the ancestors were indeed extraordinary. It has been said since ancient times that medicine and martial arts are inseparable, and it is indeed true. All acupuncture methods need to be specially combined with internal skills to be performed, but these rules are not difficult for Li Hao, who has mastered the Xiao Wuxian Gong. Of course, with the unique internal skills, the silver needles that save people can also become a killing weapon. The internal force controls the silver needles to kill the enemy, which is simply unpredictable and invincible. First of all, the silver needles are small in size, and there is no sound of breaking through the air when they are fired, so it is difficult to identify the position by sound. Secondly, the silver needles are sharp. When used, the internal force gathers the needle tip, which can break the external horizontal training method and the internal innate chi. Damn, such a good thing, I am a fan. Boss, do you have silver needles for sale in your clinic? Passing by a clinic, Li Hao shouted without thinking when he entered the door. Little brother, you want silver needles too? The shopkeeper showed a trace of surprise on his face. Why, are there many people buying silver needles? Li Hao asked back. There are people buying silver needles, but not many. For example, 2 customers came to buy silver needles just after opening today. I have only encountered this situation once in my decades of life, and that was today. The old man said with a smile, generally, larger clinics will have several sets of silver needles, one for their own use. The other is for the apprentices of the clinic to graduate, and the master will give silver needles as a gift. There is another customer in front of me. Yes, that girl. The shopkeeper pointed to the intersection, his eyes full of surprise. Too beautiful. Li Hao stretched his neck to look for a while. The girl's back was pretty, and she looked good. But the system did not prompt. Even if she was not a back killer, it was estimated that she would not be able to enter the elegant hall. Li Hao is now spoiled by the system, and his appetite has been spoiled. The 3 people who have been related to her since her debut are all famous people in the Zhongwu Chuanfang Pu. He was bored and took the time to check Xiao Long Nu's ranking. 15. The ranking is very high and well deserved. The top 50 in Chuanfang Pu are basically all stunning beauties. Chapter 9. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Little brother, I'm really sorry. We are out of ordinary silver needles in our clinic. The shopkeeper said with embarrassment, I was just looking at the beauties and forgot to count the inventory. The ordinary ones are out, so what else do we have? Li Hao was depressed. His luck was a bit against the sky. There is also a set of 108 gold needles, and a pack of cow hair needles, but both are a bit expensive. The shopkeeper said softly, gold needles are soft and easy to break, and can only be used by medical and martial arts masters. Let alone cow hair needles, which are special weapons for medical and martial arts masters. They kill people invisibly and are very vicious, so when the shopkeeper mentioned this thing, he was very cautious, for fear of being heard by others. After all, medical and martial arts masters are extremely good at killing while saving people, and the killing is simple and rough, and they are all one-shot kills, so it is difficult for outsiders to imagine that the rescuer is good at killing, and the means of killing are more fierce than the killer. Sure enough, the ancestors said that there is only a thin line between Buddha and devil. Give them all to me. Li Hao casually took out a handful of gold leaves and threw them on the counter. Along with the gold leaves, a small piece of silk cloth was also taken out, which exuded a refreshing fragrance. Li Hao opened it and immediately put it in his pocket, with a hint of embarrassment on his face. Damn, I was in a hurry this morning and accidentally took out Ning Zhongza's personal belongings. However, the duck on it was embroidered very beautifully and lifelike. Ning Zhongza, it's terrible to be uneducated. It's obviously a mandarin duck playing in the water, not a wild duck. Little brother, this thing is used. Don't worry, since I dare to buy it, it will definitely work. Li Hao explained. He knew that the shopkeeper also had good intentions, and he couldn't blame him. However, what is this piece of red cloth in his hand? It is square, the fabric is soft, and it feels very smooth to the touch, and it doesn't block the flesh at all. Li Hao thought carefully and thought that he might not pay attention when he was getting dressed in the morning and put Ning Zhongza's things in his pocket. Little brother, the gold needles and ox hair needles are here. If you can't use them, you can return them if they are not damaged. The shopkeeper is also a man of integrity. If the things are not useful, they will be returned. Got it. Goodbye. Li Hao waved his hand and left with the things. As for the money, the gold leaves are enough. Bye-bye, what does this mean? I am not buy. The shopkeeper was puzzled. As for the gold leaves, there are so many wealthy families in Hengyang City. Just borrowing some from any one of them will be enough for you to use for a long time. Husband, we are here. From a distance, Li Hao saw Yilin waving at him at the porridge stall on the street. Yilin, master, you got up so early. Li Hao was a little depressed because he didn't sleep well last night. Is it still early? The streets are crowded with people. We martial artists practice in the coldest days of winter and the hottest days of summer. We can't slack off for a day. Master Dingy taught. Dingy raised Yilin since she was a child and regarded her as her own daughter. Although she was only Li Hao's concubine, Li Hao had no legal wife, so it was okay for her cheap mother-in-law to give her some advice. Okay, I remember. Yilin, what realm are you in martial arts now? Li Hao asked casually. My husband, I'm already at the peak of the first-class level, and I'm expected to break through to the day after tomorrow soon. Yilin licked her lips, as if breaking through was as simple as eating and sleeping for her. But Yilin's breakthrough was indeed simple. She didn't even need to eat, just sleep. Seeing the two young couples being Versailles there, Master Dingy turned her head decisively. These were the two troubles, who came here specifically to break her mentality. Now Yilin's senior sisters had no mind to practice martial arts, and their minds were full of men, thinking that one day she would lie down, and then her cultivation would rise like Yilin. Didn't you see Ding Xian and Ding Jing, who ate a few tables away from them, and she was just a mouthful, and they were young people who wanted to stay in bed, so why did they talk so much? As a result, the porridge tasted tasteless in the early morning. Master, add some sugar. My husband said that if you don't add sugar to the porridge, it's just a bowl of rice soup. Yilin took out a bag of white sugar and handed it to her master. Master Dingy, this is the brown sugar that Li Hao collected in Hengyang City, and then processed, filtered, and decolorized. The brown sugar in Hengyang City has too many impurities and tastes bad. Li Hao made white sugar according to his memory of his previous life. After it was made, it was as white as snow, and Yilin, the little girl, liked it very much. This is sugar. Master Dingy looked incredible. Yes, my husband made it. He said it was snowflake sugar, very sweet. Yilin dipped a little and put it in her mouth, with a satisfied look on her face. Children love to eat candy. Yilin was no exception, and she would ask Li Hao for some from time to time. Later, Li Hao thought it was troublesome and directly packed a bag for her, and threw the rest into the system storage space. Is it sweet? Yilin looked at her master expectantly. Yeah, not bad. Master Dingy took the sugar bag, dipped a little into her mouth, and nodded and praised. Senior sister Ding Xian, senior sister Ding Jing, you should try it too. Master Dingy also added a little to her two senior sisters, and then she packed the whole bag of sugar and stuffed it into her pocket. Yilin's little head was buzzing. How did the master put the candy that my husband gave me into his pocket? Have you finished eating? After eating, go to the Hengshan Sect's Golden Basin Retirement Conference. Master Ding Xian stood up and said. The disciples quickly finished the white porridge in their bowls, picked up their swords and stood up. My husband, my candy. Yilin shook Li Hao's sleeve, her face full of reluctance, but it was her master who gave her the things, so she didn't dare to ask for them back. You want to show off? Don't worry, my husband has plenty here. If you run out, just get more. Li Hao, like a magic trick, had a similar paper bag in his palm. Li Hao would never admit that he had obsessive-compulsive disorder. He was very particular about wrapping things, and the weight and style were basically the same. Thank you. My husband. Yilin stuffed the white sugar into her pocket under the envious eyes of her sisters. This time she didn't take it out to show off again. She learned a lesson from her mistakes. She grew up as she ate them. Master Dingy looked at the paper bag that Li Hao gave to Yilin and touched her pocket secretly. Well, it's still there. Chapter 10. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The Hengshan Sect's Golden Basin Retirement Conference was held in Lu Jingfeng's manor. The scene was bustling with people. Lu Jingfeng's disciples and the Hengshan Sect's disciples were trying to maintain order. Those who participated in the Golden Basin Retirement Conference were basically martial artists, and martial artists were often irritable and would fight back at any time, so the Hengshan disciples were really confused. Deacon Fan, you're here. It's gang leader Lu, you're here too. A fat man with a look like Maitreya Buddha bowed his hands. Two voices came into Li Hao's ears. It turned out that two martial artists were talking next to him. It was obvious that they were familiar with each other. Deacon Fan, I wonder if there is anything new in the martial arts world recently. The thin man next to him, gang leader Lu, bowed his hands and asked. The Deacon Fan he mentioned was the Deacon of Tianjin, the largest intelligence organization in Zhongwu, and he knew all the gossip in the martial arts world. Of course, they were selling intelligence, and they would not reveal a single word of news that cost money. New things. The hottest new things in the martial arts world right now are the disputes between Xiao sect and the Tomb sect. Fatty touched his fat chin, thought for a while and said. Brother Fan, please tell us, we brothers will have fun too. As soon as the fat man finished speaking, a large group of people gathered around. These people are not ordinary martial artists, they are all well-known figures in Hengyang City, and they are all controllers of one force. Xiao sect, Tomb sect. Li Hao, who was resting in Yilin's arms, immediately became energetic when he heard these two words. Husband, what's wrong with you? Yilin, who was holding Li Hao, felt the changes in Li Hao and couldn't help asking. It's okay, I'll rest first. Then he found the most comfortable place in Yilin's arms and closed his eyes to rest. Of course, he heard every word that Deacon Fan said. Ning Zhongze, who was far away, looked around and finally found Li Hao lying in Yilin's arms, and he was furious. I was worried about his safety, but he was so soft and fragrant. How happy. Li Hao had a super sense of six senses. He found someone was watching him, and immediately opened his eyes. Just in time, he had a deep look with Ning Zhongze in the distance. Li Hao made a kissing gesture in the air. Ning Zhongze immediately turned his head away with a red face. No matter what, this time I really don't care. This little gangster did such a shameful thing in broad daylight. If Brother Kun saw this, I couldn't explain it clearly even if I explained it with two mouths at the same time. Seeing Ning Zhongze turn his head away, Li Hao frowned. The amount of information that Fatty Fan said was a bit too much. Xiao sect and the Tomb sect clashed. The 7 Xiao sons were severely injured by Ouyang Feng, and 4 of them died on the spot, and countless disciples were killed and injured. If Guojing hadn't rushed over in time, it is estimated that Xiao sect would have been killed by the red-eyed Xiao Long Nu. Even if Guojing went, he would only drive Ouyang Feng away. As for Xiao Long Nu and Yang Guo, they reconciled with Li Macho, who came to help and went to the rivers and lakes together. As for why they went to the rivers and lakes, Li Hao knew very well that it was to find him. It seems that Hengyang City cannot stay for long. For safety reasons, they must go far away. Li Hao does not want to confront Yang Guo, the son of destiny, now. After all, he is protected by destiny, has strong strength, and has a strong backer. If he is not careful, he may fall. Yilin, have you packed your luggage? Li Hao asked. Husband, I don't have anything to pack. Are we leaving here? Yilin asked with her watery eyes. After the meeting, let's say goodbye to the nun and go to Jiangnan. Li Hao said after thinking for a while. Jiangnan is full of beauties. If you complete a few more tasks, you will have more capital to save your life. Well, okay. Yilin was a little reluctant to leave her master and sisters, but a woman should obey her father at home and her husband after marriage, and she couldn't refuse what Li Hao said. Dear friends in the martial arts world, I am very grateful that you can attend Lu Jingfeng's hand-washing ceremony in your busy schedule. After I wash my hands in the golden basin, I will accompany you to have a good drink. Lu Jingfeng, who looks elegant, was very puzzled. Why did so many people come here when he was washing his hands in the golden basin, and there were many unfamiliar faces among them? Soon, a Hengshan disciple came up with a large basin of pure gold and put it on the table in front of Lu Jingfeng. The hand-washing ceremony is formal. Ah! With a scream, the Hengshan disciple who presided over the ceremony fell to the ground with a broadsword stuck in his throat and died on the spot. The 5 Mountains Command flag has arrived, and Hengshan sent Lu Jingfeng to take the flag. A big man with a big beard walked in. Big Songyang hand Fei Bin, I have decided to retire from the martial arts world, why are you still killing my disciples? Lu Jingfeng looked at the disciple who died tragically burst into tears. The disciple who could preside over the ceremony of retiring from the underworld was naturally his most beloved disciple. Such a disciple was his inheritance, and in his heart he was more important than his own son. Now that he was killed by Fei Bin with a sword, his decades of hard work were destroyed, and he was naturally very sad. Lu Jingfeng, your friendship with the demon sect elder Chu Yang has been exposed. Leader Zhuo Lengchan has ordered that if Lu Jingfeng is willing to ambush and kill Chu Yang, the previous things will be forgiven. If you insist on doing it, then don't blame me, Fei Bin, for being ruthless. Fei Bin waved his hand, and a group of Songzhan school disciples came out of the back hall with Lu Jingfeng's disciples and their families. Fei Bin, leave a way out for everything, so that we can meet again in the future, and don't let the disaster affect your family. Don't you understand this principle? Lu Jingfeng said with a ferocious look in his eyes. Now his wife, concubine, children, and disciples are all in Fei Bin's hands. The only one who escaped was chopped off by Fei Bin at the beginning. I, Fei Bin, believe that if you don't cut the grass at the root, it will grow again in the spring breeze. If you accept the flag, I will personally apologize to you afterwards. If you don't accept the flag. Fei Bin raised his big hand. Hey, I said you can kill me, why are you complaining? I'm waiting to go home and have a good sleep after the banquet. At this time, a voice that deserves a beating sounded in the hall. Husband, stop talking. Lin quickly covered Li Hao's mouth. What are you afraid of? This kind of little salted fish, my husband can be 100. Li Hao's words were shocking, and the eyes of the whole hall were all focused on him. Ning Zhongzi was full of shock, covering his forehead and not knowing what to do. Should I save him later? If I save him, I guess I can't leave here. If I don't save him, I can't bear it. I can't watch him being chopped into meat sauce. Or I can go out by myself, so I won't see it. What are you looking at? I'm talking about you. Fei Bin, I think you should change your name to Waste. A grown man, you only know how to use women and children to make trouble. Li Hao picked his ears. Fei Bin was so angry that he felt like vomiting blood. My last name is Fei, not Waste.